Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk all about CVs, how to write them, mistakes that you should avoid, and also I'll be walking you through my CV. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, I want to give you a few general tips about the CV, and then we're going to go straight into the different sections. So first of all, it's so important for your CV to be on one page only. I read somewhere a study that recruiters spend 6 to 7 seconds reading a CV and evaluating whether the CV is worth being moved to the next stage. The second thing is that your CV should be aesthetically pleasing. So that means that the bullet points should be aligned. You should be using one font across the CV, maximum two, one color as well, which is usually black, and the sections should be the same proportions. So whether that's your education, whether that's your extracurricular, it should all be similar proportions. You shouldn't have like 2 lines for extracurricular and then the whole CV of experience. General tip is that you should avoid being paragraphy, but we're going to get into this a bit later on where we discuss how we write a bullet points. I just wanted to quickly say that it's very good to have your CV proofread by someone, a friend of yours or a colleague or someone that can give you a clear feedback, and also run your CV through Grammarly because this is going to pick up any errors that you might have typed. Moving through the sections. As you can see on top of my CV, I have my name in capital letters, and then under this I have my phone and email address. I'm not using a photo, I'm not using real address, I'm not using none of that because you don't want to be discriminated based on how you look or where you live, because it's so easy for recruiters to say, oh, this person lives in a posh area, they're probably rich, they don't need this job. You know, it's so easy for them to discriminate, so don't make this job for them easier. The education. So I have typed education and then the time that I've spent studying this thing. So on top, you always start with your most recent education. On top is my bachelor degree that I recently graduated with back in July last year. So I have typed the name of the university, the major that I was doing, my overall grade. And a point that I want to add here is that you should only add grades that are above 70 first of all, and all grades that show that you're an overachiever. And then you can add here awards that you've won. So here I was awarded for the Dean's List of Excellence for 4 consecutive years, so every year of my undergraduate degree. So that's quite different, makes me stand out. And you should always ask the question, what will make me stand out? And things like that will make you stand out. Also, you can see that I haven't added all of the modules. I've only added specific modules that are very relevant for the role that I was applying for. And then my second education is the high school that I went to. Okay, so you should keep this section very brief, and you should only add things that add to your resume and that add and make you stand out in some way, shape or form. Okay, so on the side I have the locations that this has happened. And let's move on to the work experience. So the work experience, like, this is the star of your CV. This is literally the thing that will make you, first of all, stand out, and second of all, recruiter consider whether they should invite you to the next stage or not. The first thing that I want to mention is that I've only selected the ones that are somewhat aligned to the role that I'm applying for, and these experiences showcase the skills that are requested within the job description. And this is linked back to the tip that I said in my cover letter writing strategy. Have your job description and your CV right by each other and use the supply and demand method to write each bullet point. So, the way that the bullet points are written, first of all, they shouldn't be more than 1 sentence. They should be short, they should be punchy. Forget about all of the fluff, forget about all of that, forget about extra words, forget about sounding academic or sounding very smart by using these extra words. No, be short, be punchy, straight to the point. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, I learned this from a girl. Her name is Olamide, and she has a YouTube channel here as well, and she gave so many incredible tips in regards to this, and I've learned this from her. Second thing that I would say to how you write bullet point is add quantification, add a matrix, add something that will add context to the story that you're telling. The next tip is use the star technique. So when you're writing this one sentence, make sure you have the situation, you have the task, you have the action, and most importantly, the result. I would say that this is probably one of the, literally like the most important thing. Like, always check what was the impact of the thing that I did, and how this thing changed the team, the work that we're doing, and what did it contribute. If you can answer these questions, then you're doing it right. And finally, I want to quickly mention that you should start every bullet point with an action verb. So whether that's managed, prepared, achieved, published, established, built, it should be an action verb. I think I have a list somewhere with action verbs. I will try to link it down below, but if not, you can have a look at my CV. You can just Google action verbs for CV writing and you'll find a bajillion of them. Even like, you can compare it to the job description, see the action verbs that they have used there and incorporate them into the action points. I have a formula that I like to use when writing these points, and the formula is as follows. You should always start with action verb, then quantification matrix, then highlight the skill that you have found in the job description, and what was the impact and the result. So this is the formula that I've used to build every single point, and in my opinion, does look paragraphy. It looks very succinct, it looks very to the point. So I just want to give you an example that's good on my CV, an example that's not that good, so that you have an idea on how to write them. Let's have a look, for example, the first line on my Nissan network strategy system experience. So clean, so clear, so to the point. It says exactly what I did, which is that I found a niche and I found a room for improvement. I took an action, I saved money to the company, and this as a result increased the flexibility and accuracy of data. So we have the clear result as well. That example, that shouldn't be in my CV, is the last line within the customs agency MD service office assistant experience, which was back in 2016 that I did, so quite a while ago, which was supported the senior accountant in preparing budget forecasts and reports. But so what? Like, what was the outcome of this? Did you change anything? What was the impact? Did you improve the timing? Did you reduce the time in giving results? Like, what happened? There is no impact. You're just stating something, you're just being descriptive. So this is not an example that's that good because it doesn't have the impact, and it shouldn't be my CV at all. But I just wanted to give you an example of what a good bullet point is and what not good bullet point is. And even though this bullet point is very short, it's very to the point, it's very succinct, it doesn't give a context of what the result was or what the impact of my work was. So it doesn't hold weight being in my CV at all. See, everything is perfectly aligned. Again, look at the bullet points, the timing perfectly aligned, everything is in the same format from the top to the bottom, which looks very pleasing to the eye. Because if you have one bullet point that's a little bit in and one bullet point that's a little bit out, it just doesn't look good, and it shows that you don't have attention to detail at all. Next section is my achievement section, and I've broken down achievement and extracurricular activities into two different sections, but I've seen a lot of people just merging the two of them. I just decided to have achievement section because I feel like it just will bring out the thing that I wanted to say, and it would have differentiate myself from others. And remember, the goal is to differentiate yourself. The CV is for you to stand out from the crowd. So if you have to add if you have to have a specific achievement section and if you have the space, do it. So within my achievement section, again, similar approach. I just picked two experiences that I really overachieved in, and I accomplished something. The first one was when I was a placement ambassador for my Essex Business School, and the second one was when I was a fundraising officer and when I ran this event and raised £11,000. So part of this, so I genuinely contributed towards that. So it was one of my biggest achievements, especially being a first year at uni. And my final section is the extracurricular activities and skills. So here I talked about the things that I've done, and this is so important in terms of showing off who you are, showing yourself as the person, showing the interests that you have, showing the things that you've been involved with outside of work and outside of academia, showing that you have personality and that you're a real person, and this is that would tip you to the edge. This is the thing that would really sell you. And I would strongly recommend that you spend a lot of time thinking what you really want to include and how you want to be perceived by the recruiter at your extracurricular activities. You might include sports, you might include specific activities that you've done, things that you're passionate about, different projects that you worked on, but it should show who you are as a person and what you're passionate about and what motivates you and what you do outside of work. Would it be volunteering in the hospital, volunteering on like a shelter, spreading awareness about a campaign, or something that's just close to your heart? For me, that was a Christian Union. I loved my Christian Union at uni, and I know it's a faith-based organization, and even though it's a faith-based organization, it's who I am as a person. I'm a Christian, and this not only shows that I've been involved within this organization, but it also shows who I am, and it shows my faith, and my faith is the most important thing of my being. So having found the room to include in the CV is, honestly, it just makes me so happy. Just add something, and I will link Olamide's video because she is incredible in explaining how to write your extracurricular activities. You shouldn't just list things like volleyball, basketball, Microsoft, blah blah blah. No, it should be one thing or two things, but go deep into it and really unpack that one thing and show the recruiter that you've really been involved with that, rather than just listing different things, because everyone does that and you want to stand out. And I have a section for IT skills, and this is same logic. Don't just list things, only say things that you're very good at or that you're advanced in these softwares. So here I included Microsoft Excel. I didn't just say Microsoft Office, I said Microsoft Excel. I've only included Microsoft Excel because it shows that I have advanced skills using this software. So I've explained that I have automated complex reports, I've used VLOOKUPs and pivot tables and different functions like index and match, and then I also work with Salesforce, which is another software like reporting software, and I included this as well, that I've created custom reports, recorded data management and things like that. And finally, I have languages, and I've included I can speak English and Bulgarian. So yeah, that's my CV. That's the CV that got me into consulting. I feel like I just sped through this video, but I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that the things that I shared with you can really help you in writing your own CV when you start applying for jobs or internships. And the things that I mentioned will be linked down below. I hope these things can help you, and I hope this video can help you as well in reaching your dream job and writing your CV so that you can get the job that you're going for. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you to my next one.